Hey everybody, hey, it's Lee Godbold with Junk Removal Authority. You can check us out at junkra.com. Today's topic is going to be on AEO, Answer Engine Optimization, or some people call it AI Engine Optimization. Basically, it's how do you get a rank on AI or LLMs, such as ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, Grok, so on and so forth. So this is going to be a great video. It's a question that a lot of people are kind of asking right now. We're going to get into 10 things to help you rank on AI, on LLMs, on AEO. Now, hey, coming up October 7th and 8th, 2025, we are doing a JRA Mastermind in Raleigh, North Carolina. The link will be in here. Listen, here's the goal. This sitting speaker sitting here talking to you, coming up with all different kinds of stuff and promoting the product. We get in round tables, 6, 8, maybe 10 people with a facilitator at each table, and we dive into each other's business, and the group as a whole works together to identify 1, 2, or 3 issues or opportunities that you have, how you can solve them. You come back 90 days later, the next intensive, with a couple Zoom calls and some consulting sessions in between as needed. And hopefully you've accomplished those things. We're going to really challenge each other to keep each other accountable. And we want all the mastermind members to level up, grow, and build a 7-figure or 8-figure junk removal company. The company of your dreams, the lifestyle of your dreams. That's our goal there. There'll be some speakers about relevant topics, but the main meat of it is we facilitate awesome conversations, and you leave with a worksheet filled out with a few priorities to work on over the next 90 days. Click on the link for more information. All right, let's dive into AEO. The very first thing that I want to mention is you don't want to completely tank all of your SEO efforts trying to rank well on AEO, Answer Engine Optimization. So you've got this kind of fine line that you walk between going all in on AEO and making sure your SEO stays tight. Now, a lot of SEO guys will sit there and tell you that SEO and AEO are the exact same. What you do well in SEO, the foundation, is important to rank well in AEO. But the thing to remember, not very many people are doing much on AEO at all. So a lot of the information it gets is just based off traditional SEO and not AEO, because AEO is so new. So one thing I want you to remember, only about 10% of searchers are using AEO at the moment, but it is growing traditionally, or it is growing exponentially. So I would anticipate next year that number is going to be much higher, probably over double. 2 or 3 years from now, it's going to be much more. And keep in mind, Google is going big on their suggested answer right there at the top. So we are seeing a trend where you're having more impressions, less clicks. So click-through rate is actually going down, and we think that's because a lot of people are actually going to that suggested answer on Google right at the top. So extremely important topic, but we don't want to go too far off the rails here. And the other thing to keep in mind, this changes all the time. If you're watching this video right now, it is August 2025. If you're watching this video a month from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, it's probably not necessarily going to be the most accurate. Even a week from now, this stuff is changing all the time. So with that in mind, let's go into the 10 things at this very moment to help you rank well on LLMs, on AI. But remember, you need to balance out your SEO efforts, because still the majority of the traffic is coming from SEO. One of the very first things is you want to be the one clear answer. You want to think about what are searchers asking for about junk removal. So for example, if somebody asks, how much does junk removal cost in Orlando, Florida? You want to have the exact answer posted, and that question actually as a header, and answer that question as in a concise manner as possible. Now, again, you want to balance out traditional SEO, so you might do that early on, right at the beginning. AI can grab that, and then you go into much more information as you work your way down. Now, this is extremely important. Schema markup has been important for a long time. A lot of SEO companies get it wrong. Years ago, they used to use JavaScript, and some old sites still do JavaScript-led schema. AI cannot read JavaScript-led schema. But if you're doing coded schema, Yoast, all that kind of stuff, through WordPress or whatever, it will be able to read your schema markup. AI wants to know exactly what you're talking about. So you need to make sure you're writing up your local business schema, your review schema. You need your FAQs. All the different types of schema you want to make sure is implemented on your site so AI knows exactly what it's looking like. Writing like a human. Google's been telling us for years that writing like a human, building your site to be helpful to humans, not to build your site for the crawler, for the spider that's going to crawl your site, is important. Now, what SEO professionals know is Google might tell you one thing, and what actually happens is something completely different. What we do know with AI loves conversational tone like a human would have. It's built on language. It's built on understanding human conversations and way humans interact. It is going to reward you if you write like a human. So the old school SEO, you'd sit there and you might write like robots. That you can't do that anymore. You need to be, it needs to be your personality. It needs to be your brand feel. It needs to feel like a human with the content that you create. Guys, content fresh content's been important for SEO for a while. It's extremely important on AI. AI hates stagnant websites. So it's pulling everything kind of at real time. So you've got Perplexity and Google SGE, and they want what's new. You need to post pictures of recent jobs, post information on recent jobs. Make sure fresh reviews are getting pulled over into your site. Update pricing. Make sure that that's getting updated. Show some activity. Create some new pages. Answer some new questions. You want to show activity. Keep content fresh. That's going to help you out on AI. It will also help you out on SEO. You want to build up some local authority. The more places you're mentioned, the more AI trusts you, especially locally. So if you have some bloggers that are local that you can get featured on, even if you have to pay them something, do it. If you have a local chamber of commerce that can feature you in an article or at least link to your website, do it. You want to make sure AI knows that you're the junk removal company or one of the top junk removal companies in your area. And the way they do that, the way they verify that, is they want to see local citations, local bloggers, local news sources, anything local, schools that are local to your area writing about you, charities writing about you, local to your area. Any way you can get involved in your local community and get press written about you, do it. If you have to volunteer your truck at a local charity for a blood drive, for a pet donation drive where you donate funds, bring your truck there, feature yourself, get a PR article written about it, get the local charity to cover you. Anything you can do there to get local authority is absolutely huge on AI. It helps out with SEO too. There is some overlap here. AI loves local though. The nice thing about AI is it's really going to level the playing field between the big guys, the big national franchises, and the smaller companies. Because all of that huge national press that the franchises get, your got junks, your college hunks, your junk luggers, those guys get all of this national press, especially in the past. It's not going to be nearly as effective as of now anyway. So the local guy, the smaller guy, the guy that wants to dominate locally has such a big advantage now compared to traditional SEO. Very exciting if you take advantage of it. You want to be completely consistent across the web. So NAP sync, name, address, phone number has been important for a while. This is one of those overlap scenarios. Make sure it's right. So your Google, your Yelp, your Facebook, Apple Maps, Better Business Bureau, Bing. There's 30 to 50 like directories that these sites look at, and make sure all of that stuff is accurate. If AI is seeing these things as being inaccurate, it looks like it's sloppy, it makes them nervous, and they're a lot less likely to rank you. Building entity trust. AI sees your business as an entity. So you need to exist in places that it looks for entities. Crunchbase, LinkedIn, Google Business Profile, Reddit. Make sure you're located there. Make sure your information is accurate there. You want to be seen as legit? Show up everywhere that a real business will. Find all those directories and all those data sources. Go after the featured snippets, guys. Featured snippets are, again, when you ask a question, it'll be a summary that pops up. You want to make sure you are that featured snippet. You are that answer. This goes back to FAQs and creating content around questions. So create your headers like, how much does junk removal cost in Atlanta? Have the answer right below in a quick paragraph. That's how you're going to get found on those featured snippets. The format matters. AI wants a lot of clarity. You don't have to be super clever in this. So like give it super clear answers to the questions that people are asking. Optimize for voice search. We've been talking about this for a while in the SEO space. We've known that search is going more voice. LLMs are accelerating that. People already are just having conversations with their LLMs. So you really want to optimize for voice search. use question, again, like who hauls junk near me? Answer those questions. You want to answer any relevant question that somebody might ask. Next thing, dominate your topic. Don't just say you do junk removal. You want really deep content on appliance removal, garage cleanouts, furniture pickups, hoarder jobs, hot tubs, every single service you want to have really deep content on. AI does not want generalists, they want specialists, so it's very, very important to do that. Guys, one of the things that we know, Reddit is a huge source of information. So you want to make sure that you have information that if you can find somebody that's an expert that's highly rated on Reddit and promotes your company, it really pulls that information a lot when it's putting your stuff together. Okay, so now we've really gone through what does it take to rank on AI, on AEO, answer engine optimization. Here's some stats I want to let you know, which is interesting. Some of these things, many of these things are very similar to regular SEO right now. But ChatGPT, only 42% of the time does ChatGPT, does the results, especially even the top result, line up with what Google has or Bing shows. And what's surprising is actually ChatGPT lines up more often with Google than it does with Bing. Perplexity, 50 to 80% of the time, somewhere in that range, it'll line up with Google. So you have a lot of overlap there. The most surprising thing is Gemini, owned by Google, actually lines up, the results line up the least. So Google's own LLM, somewhere around 25% of the time or less, do the results actually line up with what you're going to find on traditional search. What that tells us is Google is definitely playing the long game here. They're rebuilding everything from scratch. The nice thing is, for Google's sake, they own the original data. So they are completely redoing this. Right now, Gemini's probably not the most accurate out there. But don't sleep on Gemini, because I think Google is really building this thing from the ground up. They're playing the long game here. And it's, the spread between ChatGPT and the rest of these LLMs, that's going to move around. Grok's making a big play too. Grok has had a recent update that's excellent. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens here. These are 10 things that you can do to really get your website to rank well and be recommended on LLMs. One of the key things to remember is no longer are people necessarily going to be going to your sites. They're really starting to trust these LLMs, and that's only going to increase more over time. So oftentimes your website needs to be actually built for LLMs to actually recommend you. You want to be that top 5 recommended. The other thing I will mention is LLMs remember who is searching. So just because you show number 1 for one individual, or you show number 1, if you take an LLM that has no memory at all, so it's fresh, it has no prior experience with the searcher, it's going to give a different result than an LLM that has more experience with the searcher, that has that memory, that has that chat history. So it's very interesting. This is going to change a lot. Hopefully this video is helpful. Listen, there's no such thing as an AEO expert at this point. There's just people that know more about where it is at any given point. But even the people writing the stuff don't know exactly what's going on with it yet. It's changing very, very rapidly. So remember, don't tank your SEO to rank well for AEO. But if you can get ahead of this, you're going to be one of the first people in the junk removal industry to focus in on AEO. Then you're going to have this window of opportunity to really rank better and get more business for the 10, 15% of searchers that are actually using LLMs at this moment. Hey, if this was helpful, make sure you subscribe, give us a thumbs up, let us know what you think of the video, and we'll be back with more great AEO content for junk removal and dumpster rental companies coming soon.